I bring you greetings on behalf of the Natalie Williams Breast Care Foundation, located in Washington, D.C., in the United States. I bring you greetings from the 20 below snow-filled, politically charged environment, our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And so how many of you know I'm so happy to be here with you at this time for many reasons. I want to first thank the many dignitaries who are here in the room this morning, particularly Minister Liebert, for all of your support for what I'm going to speak about in just a few minutes, as well as the Honorable Her Excellency Ambassador Henry Martin for your work in the United States on behalf of St. Kitts. I do appreciate the relationship that we are building, and that you all should be very proud of the work that she's doing in the U.S. on your behalf. I'd like to congratulate as well the honorees this year, the inductees, the awardees. Women, we do an awesome job. We do an awesome job. Before I get into the reason why I'm here, I just want to divert just for a second. At home, I serve as the president of the Democratic organization in the area in which I live, in Ward 8 of Washington, D.C. It's the most challenged area, and so some of the things that we are dealing with there, I know that those things are dealt with in many, many different islands and countries, and so I'm familiar with these types of, I hate to call them hardships because they're challenges, but women are central to that, and women are central to helping us rise above, and we do what we do best. We survive through it all. And so in the midst of politics in my area, I stand as one of few women who speak up, who speak out, and who are not afraid of what tomorrow may bring, because it's about today, and it's about helping our women and our children and our communities today. And so in that spirit, I congratulate all of the women who are here in the room today. I congratulate all of the inductees, and I congratulate the awardees that were recognized as well. I'm here, I was asked to say a few words about my experience over the past 2 years. I am a recent breast cancer survivor. Thank you. Back in July of 2012, several months before that, I was running for office, running to be the council person of the area in which I just described to you. I had 2 appointments for a mammogram, and both of those, I was a no-show. My mother was very, how do I say it, as mothers are. You've turned 40, and now it's time for you to do what big girls do. You go and get the necessary tests at your age, and for her, the necessary test was the mammogram. I blew it off. I was running for office. I was caring for everybody else. I'm shaking hands. I'm kissing babies, all of these things in my ward. And my mother said, "I'm coming to visit you." And I thought, uh-oh, let me go and get this test before she gets there, because I do not want to hear her mouth for the next 2 weeks, if I'm being honest with you. So I go get the test. I go, and you wait for the results a couple of days. The test comes back abnormal. So I called my mother. I said, Mom, the test was abnormal. She says, well, that happens sometimes. Anything can happen. Wait for the results. Don't get excited, blah, blah, blah. So my doctor calls and says, you need to come in. We need to do several follow-up tests. And so I go in, and when I tell you, all within, I don't know, a week period of time, I had at least 5 or 6 or 7 different types of tests on my breast. How many of y'all know that could be possibly uncomfortable within a week's time? And so I got the news. I got the news that in one breast, my left breast, there was a cancerous tumor. And I had to make a decision on what I was going to do. My doctor says, you definitely need to remove your left breast. Remove my breast? We're not going to do that, was my first thought. But then I thought about it, and I said, this is about saving my life. This is not about cosmetics, although I didn't know all of the things that I know today about it. This is about living. And so I made the very difficult decision to remove not one, but both breasts. So I did a double mastectomy because I did not want to experience the same thing a couple of months down the road or a couple of years down the road. And so I opted for a double mastectomy at the time. I went through, I went through chemotherapy. I went through radiation. And now I continue on with my care with a drug called tamoxifen. This picture here, which I'm told that Minister Liburn has shared with just about everyone that she's come in contact with, it represents a very difficult period in my life. That was a photo shoot that was done for a cover story in a local magazine in DC. And similar to today, there are lights in my face, a whole audience of people. I'm standing there with no top on, with my new breasts. There are tears in my eyes. We can't get that picture blown up anymore, but there are tears in my eyes. I hear all the people, oh, this is so beautiful, this is so beautiful. I didn't feel that at the moment. But today it represents strength, beauty, courage. And so folks don't even like me with this hair now. They really want me to go back to that where I live, but I'm very comfortable in this. But it represents a period for me that I believe it's important for me to share with others. And so a community, the community where I'm from, some friends and some cancer survivors started a foundation in my honor. And that foundation is the Natalie Williams Breast Care, not cancer, Breast Care Foundation. And this foundation is focused specifically on women of color. No disrespect, is focused specifically for women of color. At home, we have what's known as the Susan G. Komen walk. There's a foundation. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that. And they do an awesome, awesome, awesome job every year in promoting breast cancer awareness, and there's all kind of walks, and they raise all kind of monies. And I mean, October is pink in the United States hands down, as a result of their efforts. But when I stepped back and looked at their outreach, their marketing, their communication, I thought there's a void here. And the void is that it's not targeted and messaged for women of color, for my sisters. And so my foundation aims to do just that, to talk to the women of color, to reach them where they are in their communities, and to really get them to understand the importance of getting tested and get it tested early. When I got tested the first time I was diagnosed, I was at stage 2. Had it not been for the early detection and all of the different things, tests and services that we have in the United States, I would have never known. Because for me, I was healthy, I was beautiful, I was walking tall, stomping with the big boys in DC, and was unaware. So it's important for us to get tested, no matter how you feel, no matter how you look, no matter what you're doing. Stop, ladies, and please take the test. Which brings me to why I'm here. I had an opportunity to meet Ambassador Henry Martin through a doctor friend in the United States. And I shared with her the mission of the foundation, and instantly we thought that this was something that we needed to include here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And so we will be bringing the Test My Breast. Did somebody say, ooh? The Test My Breast campaign to St. Kitts and Nevis. We will be bringing this campaign to St. Kitts and Nevis. It's so important. Someone said, well, did the name have to be so risque? Someone said, it sounded like you said, touch my breast, feel on my breast. I said, no. We said, test my breast. And we have to talk to people in a language that people understand. I want you to test my breast and make sure that I am not cancerous, right? And so we're going to bring that message to St. Kitts and Nevis in October. I am looking forward to working with several of the organizations that I understand that are already in place and doing outstanding work here. But we're going to make it bigger. We want women to get tested. We want women to get tested. And so I leave you today with this statement. Together, we are going to save the lives of our sisters across the globe. One breast, one test at a time. Thank you.
Okay, sisters, the message is, I want to get my breasts tested. Okay? So let us go forward.